Welcome to the Communication and Networking online lecture series. In the previous session, we have started the unit application layer. In that unit, we have seen the topic World Wide Web. Now, in this session, we are going to complete this unit with the topic multimedia. So, in this session, we are going to see what multimedia includes and what are the roles and details for that. So, let's start with the topic multimedia. So first of all, let us see what multimedia includes. The first one over here is the audio compression. Next is streaming audio. The third one is VoIP, that means voice over internet protocol. Next is video compression, and the last one is video on demand. So multimedia platform includes these categories that we are going to see individually now. Let us start with the first one, that is audio compression. So, whenever we are transmitting any audio over the internet, the compression is needed to make the transmission over the internet practical. That means if we say that our audio file is of larger in size, when you want to send it using the internet platform to the other user, it needs to be compressed to make it compatible to send it over the channel or over the internet effectively. So for that, compression techniques are needed for audio compression as well as for other files also. For this reason, various audio compression algorithms have been developed. Probably the most popular one for audio compression is MPEG audio that we use nowadays extremely, which has three variants, or you can say three layers, of which MP3, that is MPEG Audio Player 3, is the most powerful and the best one. You all are aware about MP3, MP4 as well. But MP3 is widely used nowadays, which is the best variant for MPEG audio compression. Audio compression can be done in one of the two ways from following. The first one is waveform coding and the second one is perceptual coding. These are the basic two methods or ways of compression of audio. The first one is waveform coding. Here what happens is, here the signal is transformed mathematically by a Fourier transform into its frequency components. And based on that, compression is performed over the audio file. Next one is perceptual coding. This exploits certain flaws in the human auditory system to encode a signal in such a way that it sounds the same to a human listener even if it looks quite different on the oscilloscope. That is different to that of waveform coding. Waveform coding depends on the frequency components. Here frequency components are slightly neglected. Their perceptual coding is based completely on the human auditory system. That means some frequencies are there that our human ear cannot sense the major differences in that. So, minor differences can be ignored based on the frequency component, and it is majorly depends on the human auditory system in perceptual coding. So, these are the basic two compression techniques: waveform coding, that purely based on the Fourier transform of its frequency components, and according to that compression is done. And the second one is perceptual coding, where a different oscilloscope behavior is quietly ignored and human auditory system behavior is morely concerned. Now, let's see next, streaming audio. So what is streaming audio? Whenever you type any of the music online and you hear it online, that comes the streaming audio. That is quite similar to that you go on a video shop or go on a CD disk drive shop and you ask for a music file or you ask for a video file and you get it in the return and you listen to it and give it back. That is performed same way online. That means you ask for the particular music file, you type it there and you get the songs back, you listen to it online and then you change your website. So listening to sound over the internet is called as streaming audio. This is also called as music on demand. So this is the process how streaming audio is done. That means how you can get back your music signal or else your music file from the internet. Here the first process is of establishing a TCP connection. Second one is to send the HTTP GET request. Third one is the server gets the files from the disk. Fourth one is the file sent back. Fifth one is browser writes the files to the disk. And the sixth one is the media player fetches files block by block and plays it. That means whenever you type or you search for a song, it goes for the particular media player and the disk drive on which the data is stored, and it give it back to you using the client server model. Now, next is VoIP, that is Voice over Internet Protocol. So this is a technology that is allowing you to make voice calls over a broadband internet connection instead of an analog or else you can say regular phone line. Whenever you make the call from the regular telephone lines and whenever you make the calls using the internet lines, this is called as the different from analog line and the voice over internet protocol. So whenever you are making a call from the internet, that is called as the voice over internet protocol. Here voice are converted into a digital signal by VoIP services that travels over the internet. If the regular phone number is called, the signal is converted to a regular telephone signal, that is an analog signal before it reaches to its destination. Voice over internet protocol can allow you to make a call directly from a computer having a special VoIP phone or a traditional phone connected to a special adapter. Now, VoIP, that is Voice over Internet Protocol, is better as compared to telephone analog lines or else the regular telephone lines because the calls are made using the internet protocols and it gives the best results for the standard cases as compared to the analog phone line. There are some few drawbacks as well based on the internet connectivity. Now the next is video compression. So all the compression system requires two algorithms. The first one is one for compressing the data at the source and the second one, that is another one, is for decompressing it at the destination. So here in video compression, we are targeting on the compression of video files. That means whenever you are making any video and you want to transfer it over the internet, you need to compress it before sending. To send the compressed video file and to access it, we need to have the compression technique at the transmitter side and the decompression technique or decompression methods at the receiver side or at the destination side. So these are the basic two algorithms that need to develop while video compression is done. In the literature, these algorithms are referred to as the encoding and decoding algorithms respectively. So this next is video on demand. That means it is similar to music on demand where you ask for the music file over the internet and here you ask for a video file on demand. Let's say for example you are watching the video on YouTube online, that is video on demand. Here what happens is the video server or audio server are there which is connected to ATM or SONET backbone network, where SONET stands for synchronous optical networking. Here the fiber optic cables are used for connection to the database or to the server or client. Then this network is connected to the switches, local servers, and via that they are connected to local distribution network which will send this video files to the customer's house. So this is the architecture of how a video on demand works and how it delivers the video files or audio files to the customer premises across the internet. Now, these are the references for this presentation. Here we end the unit application layer. We have seen the application layer roles, World Wide Web, multimedia, and we have seen the URL, HTTP and HTML also. So I hope that this unit is clear to you now. Then we will see in the next sessions the unit network security. In that we will see the firewall concepts. We will see how network security is important nowadays when internet usages are increasing day by day. Okay? So thank you. Thank you for listening.
What is VoIP? Just Google that. Tons of explanations displayed on your screen. Mostly, you will find this. Voice over Internet Protocol, a methodology, a group of technologies for the delivery of voice communications and multimedia sessions over Internet Protocol networks. Such services like voice, fax, SMS, and voice messaging over the public internet rather than via the public switch to telephone network. It's more like a new question. Apparently, we really need an explanation in English. So, why don't we just think about this first? How do we make a call? Home phone with a landline will just make that work. So does the enterprise. Just more phones and more lines. All of your calls will be sent from the phone to the service provider through the landline, which specifically works for audio transmissions. The landline is actually the connection between you and the service provider. Well, what if we switch the landline to the internet you're already using? In other words, all calls will go through the internet, sent to the service provider. This is what VoIP does. Now, let's break down the process. With the internet technology, we simply pack our audios into metadata packets by some rules, technically speaking, protocols. And these packets will be received and unpacked with the same rule. Then you get the audios. Today, more and more individuals and enterprises start choosing VoIP for low cost, easy installation, and abundant features. Need more VoIP solutions? Visit yaestar.com.